Alrighty, folks, this is the Hub Call. This is usually where we break down our business, mortgage, buying, construction, all of that for the Fresno community. But we're going to do something different. We're going to do something even more important. Yes, more important than business. We're going to talk about the movement of one rental at a time, the goal of changing and growing the middle class. Inflation is a feature, not a bug. Owning assets for a decade is the secret. Discretionary income, buy box, focus, all of that. The reason we're going to have this conversation is we've had the one and only Pace Morby on the show for a 2-hour episode where he talked about the importance of getting to 5. I was recently interviewed by Graham and Jack at the Iced Coffee Hour, which is taking off. I've talked with Ryan Pineda, Meet Kevin, Sean Connell, and many, many others. Guys, it really does feel like the momentum it's starting to turn. The focus and 6-year commitment to this is finally paying off. Ty, you've been with me for a long time. We met 5 years ago at an in-person event where I don't even think the book was out yet. And if it was out, it was barely out. You've been with me this whole time. What does one rental at a time mean? And do you like seeing it grow?
I love seeing it grow. I love the mission, and it's really about keep it simple. It's foundational. And it's interesting because I know that we're going to talk about this a little more, but a lot of the big experts, influencers in this real estate investing space are all coming back to the basics.
Yeah.
Why? Because it makes sense. It's common sense. You start with one rental at a time, you learn the business, and then you grow or scale from there, right? Like that's what it's really about.
Yeah, I love that. Carlos, you've been doing work for Olivia and I for I don't know 5, 6, 7 years at least. You've seen us add, you've seen us flip. I mean, you were part of our flipping journey. I know that you've at least watched from afar. You were at our Vegas event last year in the VIP section with your lovely wife. What is it like watching one rental at a time, the message, the community grow? And I mean, you're helping our portfolio, which pays our pays our
Yeah,
bills. So thank you for that. What does it mean to you?
it means a lot. I mean, it's not just even helping your portfolio helps me as well. It helps the rest of us. It trickles down. Second, being in the community, it inspires. It gives hope. It gives opportunity that it's possible, that it's doable. You just got to be willing to put the principles and put into work. And I'm honestly, guys, I'm the type of guy that sometimes jumps off the plane, forgets to put the parachute on. And yeah, and I say that I said humorous, but in reality, sometimes in life, you got 2 lemons and you got to do the best out of it.
Yeah.
And then but when I see guys like yourself being disciplined and showing the process, it gives hope to guys like me. Hey, you know what? If I discipline myself, if I do, what Mike is doing, it's not hard. I could do that
No,
too. And,
it's not hard.
yeah, exactly. And so it's just putting the work in. And I think I'm in the process in my life even now, just putting the work, and not
Yeah.
complicating it with thousands of properties and hundreds and this all that, because once you get into that, you're like, you know what, I can't do that, and then even when you talk to friends about it, and they're like, well, that guy has this, has that. But when you simply keep it simple, what Ty says, there's a thing Ackerman says, KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
Oh
And
yeah.
sometimes, yeah,
Love
and
that.
sometimes that's what it is. It's just keeping it simple, and it brings hope, and it brings it down to ground, like reality, that it's doable if you do the work. And and that's why I like being here. I like being here because it's if you're not the smartest one in the room, then you're learning, and if you're the
Yeah.
smartest one in the room, then you need to go to bigger rooms. So when I love seeing you talk to Panera and Ryan Panera and Pace Maury, I saw that video with Pace Maury. I watched the whole thing, and it was a great video, a great insight of being a leader and helping each other. And that's what you do, Mike, with this network that you're building, is giving an opportunity for like guys like me. And honestly, I'll be honest, you probably attracted my wife to come in and find out more about you. And she goes, hey, you know what, you should check this out. you should check this out. You know, and for
Nice.
several months, she kept telling me, and slowly but surely, like a turtle, I went in there, and here I am, and I'm glad that I did it. You know, and being a part of this community, it does help in different aspects. You know, knowing about
Yeah.
mortgage with Matt, knowing with Ty about sub two, learning about you, but doing the work and just listening about the finances. I know I'm not the same person. You know, when I started
Yeah.
listening to you to now, and anyways, I can ramble a lot, but it's
No,
just
that's
yeah,
that is what we're trying to do, right?
yeah,
Changing the middle class, growing the
right,
middle class is a wild and crazy goal.
right,
The only way you could do that is not some super slick, easy button. It's not some magic pill. All that's nonsense. It's very basic stuff. It's Dave Ramsey-esque. I was
right.
lucky enough to hear Dave Ramsey speak. Ty was too. He was there with me at Sean Cannell's
Mm,
event. And I still feel Dave Ramsey on stage saying, basically, keep repeating the message.
mhm.
Don't deviate, don't change. You might get bored saying live below your means, get a buy box, daily discipline, but don't. The audience changes all the time. You have to stay consistent.
Right.
And I tell you that Dave Ramsey's speech was the most game-changing speech I've ever seen. For personally game-changing, because it gave me permission to just keep swinging the hammer, right? Just keep saying the same thing. So I was happy to have that. Matt, you and I have been working together, I think 3.5 years. You've talked with hundreds, if not thousands, of ORAAT fans because they call you, because you provide mortgages. What have you seen? What have you seen evolve over the years?
Well, I'm extremely grateful to be part of this community. You know, talking with you guys on a weekly basis, you know, interviewing with Mike. I've found so much joy in it. The thing that I love the most, and I've realized like over time, like I think about it right now. I'm like, man, are we aligned? You know,
Mm,
and for me and Ty, it's really cool because we're actively, you know, helping clients on the real estate side and the mortgage side. So we get to see the magic. And I think
yeah.
sometimes too, like, you know, for Zuber, he gets the stories, right? And he gets people that he can send letters to, but like really getting intimate and talking to somebody for 30 days throughout the whole loan process and then getting them to the finish line and then seeing that like little switch get flipped. I told you it was possible. I told you anybody could do it. I told you I went to public school and I used to be a drug addict, and if I can do it, anybody can, right? And so like being part of this to me is really personal because it's an add-on to a message that I truly believe in, which is this is possible for anybody. And I think what's cool and what probably motivates a lot of us to continue to push your message is it's harder to get this message to land than the stuff that's got glimmering lights and is, you know, a little bit more fancy, but
Mm.
doesn't work. I remember I took your slides with your permission, Mike, and I talked to a real estate meetup and I told them, because I've been to 100+ real estate meetups as an
Oh,
investor and
I'm
as a
sure.
guy
Yeah.
who was just getting started in 14 and 15, trying to learn. And what I've found over the last decade is that people will talk about a lot of fancy stuff. The fancier they talk, the less they do. And so
Yes.
if I can get them to listen to, hey, do the work, do the boring stuff. I asked Mike, I've asked countless investors, what was your first investment? Norris Drive was a single family. Mine was a single family. Most people like adding a second single family after you own a primary is usually the next step, even though they want to talk about syndicating an 80-unit apartment building
Mm.
and all that. And so one rental at a time is something like I truly believe in. I'm grateful to be a part of it because I get to see it. Like
Yeah.
just last week, and I get this every single week, Mike. I came back into my office after stopping by a signing, and I told Mitch, who's in my office, I said, you know what, man? Today was a great reminder. I need this every once in a while. This is such a big deal for people. This is transformational. This is life-changing. I've wrote 1,400 mortgages. So sometimes I forget
Mm.
because I'm just so used to it that like every single one of these is attached to a real person, a real story, and a real life, like, aha, I can do it. It's possible. Even though I never thought I'd buy a house because look at where I was 10 years ago. Look at the house I grew up in. Look at the school I went to. It's possible for anybody. And so I'm excited about the next 3.5 years, the next, 20 years preaching the ORAAT message and seeing more of the stories, because those wins for people who didn't think it was possible are the sweetest reward for sure.
No, couldn't agree with that more. Ty, back to you, man. One of the things that I love working with you is you have 30 years, I have 25 years experience in real estate. You and I have seen a lot of things come and go. And one of the things that, you and I were talking about the last couple of years is the need to change in the influence teaching space. And it went from a kind of in-person big events, think Tony Robbins, to online kind of courses, to now, true communities, right? And obviously I've chosen to throw my hat behind what Alex Hormozy's doing with school. But that was a risk for me, right? Let's go after a community. Let's set it at a stupid low price point of $20 a month. Let's put thousands of dollars of courses in there because we want to attract folks. And I just want to give you credit. I want to thank you for encouraging me to do that. School's now over 250 folks and growing. So thank you for being a friend and a mentor and telling me to get uncomfortable.
No, I love what you're doing. And here's the thing that I love. You're true to the mission, and that even, I came and stayed at your home for a week and I was like, what if you did this? What if you did that? What if you, and I threw at him like, all these different ideas of a $5,000 program, a $10,000 program, all of these different ideas. And then what resonated is, again, true to the mission of Dave Ramsey-esque, like the middle class. I want people to get started one rental at a time. I want this to be accessible to everybody. The way that you wrote the book, the way that I'm going to do 30 videos or 40 videos a week for free on YouTube. Like in classic Michael Zuber style, you're like, we talk about all these different ideas, a $5,000, $10,000, $1,000. And you're like, let's do the $20 thing. I'm going to do the $20 thing. And that's Michael Zuber, consistent and true to wanting to make it accessible to everybody.
Yeah. I mean, so first, it's really funny. I've had the opportunity after that Pace Morby interview to talk to him, deeper one-on-one. And he kind of had the same feedback. He's like, you should be making $1 million a year. And, to hear Pace say that, and the challenge is really twofold. One is I'd have to build an infrastructure of people and all of that. And I have, no interest in that. It frankly, having a payroll of $100,000 a month freaks me out. So that's not happening. But again, my mission is not to climb higher on this mountain of, I don't know, financial freedom or wealth or whatever. I know it will go up because we're still growing and buying and all of that. But my mission is to grow the middle class. My mission is to be spoken of fondly 50 years after I'm dead. It's a different game. If I'm worth $100 million when I'm dead, like 12 people care. 12 people. My daughter, maybe a few, whatevers. Nobody cares. But if I'm worth, I don't know, $25 million, but I've helped 10,000 people in multiple generations, I think that's going to be more meaningful to my stated goal. So that's where I'm going.
I want to comment on this just briefly and circle back, is that I'm just knowing you and getting to know you as much as we've spent a lot of time together, especially the last year. The one thing too is it's not the $100,000 payroll or you've achieved something that everybody wants, which is the time freedom.
Right.
And it's more the responsibility to have to manage and be responsible for all these people. Whereas you have time freedom and you've achieved something. But what's beautiful about your gift that you give is you want to share that gift with other people. And you figured out a way, in a scalable way, that you can still give away the gift, but be done by 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And only do it 4 or 5 days a week, and choose the days. If you're going to be on a cruise ship, if you want to post stuff, you'll post it. But it's like, so I love the beauty of, you want to give the gift that you've earned and received. You want to share that gift. And that's what's beautiful about the one rental at a time community.
Yeah. And then the other thing that you could hope, like, as someone who's like out there being consistent with this message, you not only hope to impact others, right? But if I'm really going to create a movement, I need to have, the next level of folks that are with me and giving. You are a great example of that. Just in our school community, you did a 6-hour master class. You've done 2 sessions already. You gave away 90 minutes on a Sunday. Matt here, he's done 1 call a month inside the school community. We've done 500 or 600 videos together. It's just so much fun to watch. And then Carlos, I'm getting calls from people because, again, a lot of my influence is in Fresno. It's where my buy box is, where I'm history. I get notes almost every week about, hey, Carlos, help me with this, help me with this. Carlos went to my spot, didn't even, charge me, and gave me his opinion. And it is so fun to see good work attract other people who do good work. So Carlos, thank you for being a part of this and helping so many people. Oh, he's on mute. That's okay. We'll go to Matt.
There you go.
Oh, there he
you go.
is.
Yes. Well, that's good to know, Mike. I think I believe in that principle. What you sow is what you reap, and I think what you also the law of vibration and manifestation, where you're doing something and it's reciprocating. You're attracting the right people to you, and those people are giving because you're giving. And I, this is something I'm, in my journey, I'm figuring this out. Like the fact that Ty and everybody's telling you because they see something in you and you value that, and you could be sitting. You don't even have to be doing these calls. Yeah, honestly, you don't even have to be doing these calls, but you do it, and at least for me, I'm grateful because I know where I came from and where I'm going, and this is a big stepping stone for me, being here and you opening the door to do so. I'm able to do that, and I'm grateful for that. And in return, when I get those calls and I go see it, I'm paying it forward.
There
That's
you
all I'm
go. I
doing.
love that.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody wanted to reach out, speak with your lovely wife, talk about doing some repairs, maintenance, inspections, how do they do that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Give us a call at 559-681-8431. That's 559-681-8431. And give us a call, even if you just want us to talk and dream about your project. We could definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Martha and Carlos are solid people, great people. I wouldn't be here if he wasn't, and certainly wouldn't be touching our properties every week if he was an amazing person. Matt, the mortgage guy, man, what do you think about this bigger mission? Thank you for being a part of school. Thank you for contributing your monthly mortgage calls. I know people really appreciate those. So what's going on?
Yeah, I think we're just going to continue the mission, man. Every week we're having great conversations. I'm hearing from people across the ORAAT community, whether it's on the live Zoom or, they call me because they're looking at doing a cash out refinance in Florida. And, with you at the helm, I think it all kind of trickles down. You attract a tribe that's like you. And so there's a lot of us that, I know personally, whether it's investing or whether it's business, I've had people help me along the way. And so it's only natural to say, well, of course, if somebody asks me a question that involves investing, I can tell them, yeah, I did it. Here's how I did it. And I could give that advice, and I could help somebody who's, lower on the ladder, if you will. Right. And my mortgage business was the same way. When I was brand new, I talked to people that did 100 deals a year, and what are you doing? And that's what's really cool is I've found in a lot of different communities, especially the ORAAT community, that people with amazing success love to share and help others. And here's a key that people should probably take away. They really love to share and help others who are actually going to take action and do it.
Exactly.
Ty, hours of his time, right? Pouring in. Nothing is going to create more happiness for Ty and make him want to do it more than to see somebody actually win. Right. Yeah. You spend hours of your time and you're pouring in, and then nobody takes action. That might hurt your feelings, but all it takes is a couple people saying, I won. I took that advice from Ty and I went and implemented it. Hey, Matt told me that, this is what I should do from a mortgage strategy standpoint. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. This is my first rental property. I'm on my way. Like that kind of stuff continues to inspire, I think, all of us to continue to give back. And so there's ample. And you mentioned the word community. I think that that's the most important part. If you log into school and you start talking, we all can give advice, but somebody else just had the same exact scenario that this person asking the question had.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in Vermont. I'm part of the ORAAT family. Here's what I did. Oh, hey, I tried that in Tennessee, and here's what I would do if I were you. Like, the community helps each other as much as any of us sitting in front of a microphone do too. That's some of the true magic of it.
Couldn't agree more. Lots of people looking to do cash on refis. Refinances up 94% last week. Folks, these call centers are going to hurt a lot of people. I strongly suggest you work with someone who has your best interests in mind, who's willing to say, no, this does not make sense to you. And that is Matt, the mortgage guy. Matt, how can they find you?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out the form, get in touch with me and my team. Here's another thing I want people to hear. If you reach out to me and we chat and I say, it doesn't make sense, here's the strike price, here's what I would do, please don't let somebody else talk you into doing something that doesn't make sense. If they start to talk you into that, come back. And then here's what I've done in the past, Mike. And here's what I think people who are trying to make the financially responsible decisions need to do. You've got to talk me into why it makes sense to refinance.
Yeah. There are sometimes. If
the salesperson is selling you and convincing you, that's not good. If you convince them, say, hey, listen, Matt, it might be a 19-month break even, but I might move out of here in 12 months. This is going to become a rental property. I want to set it and forget it. Talk me into it. Right. And then I'll give you the permission to do it. But if you just talk to somebody who's looking for another check mark, another sale, they're going to talk you into stuff that is, it's disgusting, to be honest.
It is
right?
disgusting.
Some of the refinances that are being written are disgusting, and it doesn't have to be that way. There's good advice out there. You just got to seek it. So greatmortgagebroker.com.
And Ty, I wanted to close with you. Started with you. You are a huge mentor of mine, friend, family. Where is this thing going to go, man? We've been doing it 5 years. What's going to happen over the next 5 to 10 years? What's the grand vision?
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen is that everybody watching or listening needs to come to the event in Las Vegas in February, President's Day weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. It's the best value. It's the best investment you could ever make into yourself. Tickets are on sale, and I'll tell you, the event will sell out. Michael and I were just talking pre-roll. We're talking about in terms of like this next wave of tickets that are sold. There's already a batch that's been sold, a block of tickets, the next block. And then even potentially too, a lot of these events, like if you sleep on it and you think it's going to be around in 30 or 60 days, or I'll buy my ticket, whatever, you don't want to risk the event being sold out because it's not a venue where we can add more seats.
No, we are at max capacity. I'm pushing it 25. Max capacity is 400. I'm selling 425 because I expect some people to flake. But yeah, we are at max capacity. We will not be able to do a bigger event at this facility. So
buy your tickets now. Buy your tickets now.
There's people in school. I literally looked at this morning where they're like, where's the ORAAT event link? They want to join. They want to do it. So I shared that Eventbrite link in there. And I doubled down on what Ty said. Everybody I talked to is part of the One Rental Time community. When I talked to them, oh, thanks so much. I've been following, Mike for 1.5 years, and this is what I'm doing. I'm going to see you in February. Yeah, I'll see you there. Right. So people are excited about it.
There you go. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for being here. We are changing. We are growing the middle class. These guys and others in ORAAT are on the mission with me. Guys, thank you very much. We'll talk next week.
See you
later.